Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the history of a ferry company, one that began with such promise and unfortunately will now forever be linked to one of the worst maritime disasters of the modern era. That company is Townsend Thoresen, and the book that we'll be looking at is Townsend Thoresen, The Fleet Book. This company will forever be associated with the tragic loss of the Herald of Free Enterprise. This ferry capsized off the port of Zeebrugge in 1987 with the loss of almost 200 lives. And for those who want a harrowing and sympathetic account of that disaster, may I recommend 90 Seconds at Zeebrugge. This is quite a detailed and emotional look at that horrendous disaster. But to swing back to our fleet book. So TT Line, as they became known in the 80s, began as two separate entities. One run by Captain Townsend and the other by the Norwegian entrepreneur Otto Thoresen. Both sought ways to revolutionize, or at least make more efficient, the ferry services that were then in operation, and to take advantage of the rising number of car ownership. Captain Townsend in particular struck success with his vessel, the Free Enterprise, which, as you can see in the pictures above, was a striking green-hulled ferry. This ship got its cues, and this was revealed in the book, from the green-hulled livery of the Coronia, Cunard's famous one-funneled luxury cruise ship of 1948. Which, in this instance, it served not only as a cue to differentiate from all the other ferry services, but also as an aspirational cue so that all the ferrygoers who would jump onto the Free Enterprise would think of themselves as having their own luxury mini Cunard Coronia cruise. In time, the two entities became Townsend Thoresen, and their fleets evolved into, again, as you're probably seeing in the pictures above, the very distinctive, to be polite, green-hulled, blue-funneled ferries. They always strove for vessels of greater efficiency. Not aesthetic beauty, but certainly efficiency, and they absolutely were distinctive. This book covers the history of the company and their various entities in a chronological and straightforward manner, but the draw for this book is in the second half, where it then details each ship that was run and chartered by the company. And in particular, flagships of the various classes are given a visual, stunning representation in these side profile drawings, which you're also seeing up there. This is the draw card for the book, and it occupies the second half. At the very end of the book, there is a lovely summary, which we get to see some of the surviving vessels that are still in service in faraway climes, such as the Mediterranean, with Greek and Egyptian ownership. This company began with such promise, but ended up being forever associated with not only the Herald of Free Enterprise disaster, but also another one, the European Gateway, which was another vessel that capsized, although that one was due to a collision. This book covers the history of the company and their various vessels. It is written in a wonderful, straightforward, easy-to-read way, and the draw card are the stunning visuals. In addition to these beautiful side profiles, which we can also see the evolution of the fleet and the designs, it is also profusely illustrated. So this book is a visual wonder to enjoy. The book is published by Ferry Publications, and they have done a series known as the Fleet Book. There's another one for the Cunard line, whereas the remaining volumes thus far are for ferry services. This book, however, really shows the dramatic evolution of designs from the 60s through to the 80s, and in particular TT's forward-looking vision for greater efficiency and for the unique look of their vessels. But drivers for efficiency unfortunately did not mean drivers for safety, as the disaster of the Herald of Free Enterprise will forever testify. This book is a fascinating look at this company and highly recommended for its beautiful visual illustrations. For all of this, it is a 4 captain's hats, a fascinating, detailed, beautifully illustrated tribute to a very interesting company that had a terrible ending. And, as no doubt you can see all around you, if there are any other books about ferries, ferry disasters, ships, naval matters, other maritime disasters, please let me know in the comments below. I'm bound to have them in my library, and I'll be more than happy to review them for you. So, until next time, enjoy and happy reading.